It's just the drive boots up. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to Church of Chonkwij podcast. It's a normal open. Will wonders never cease?
Maybe? I mean, if we die, they'll definitely cease.
This is true.
Yes.
I'm joined tonight by OmegaConstruct, Pun Lord Mesquit me. I'm Squiddy Wonka, your host, and Zero isn't from damn it.
No,
Volkswagen?
say it correctly. Say it correctly, you prick.
Zero is not a Volkswagen, damn it.
No, oh my God. You son of a bitch.
It's true, you're not.
I mean, I'm the size of a Volkswagen, but you know.
What kind of Volkswagen?
Old Beetle. The best Volkswagens.
Okay. Yeah.
Classic Beetle.
You're not McCartney.
The one that Hitler designed.
Oh. Well, now that I know that, I am no longer the size of a Beetle. I am the size of a smart car.
There you go. All right, smart car is way better. Those were
It's not on the brain,
designed
though.
by eco-terrorists, not fascists. Oh, fuck. So yeah, what were we talking about? The fashion show? No, we weren't. Okay, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff to speak on tonight, but yeah, if you wanna, Omega, you this time you were the only one who got around to playing the Diablo 4 open beta. So
yeah, Lee played a little bit, but he wasn't able to put in a ton of time, unfortunately. But it was the only thing that it added was opening up the new classes, I should say the rest of the 5 classes that will be there on launch, which are Druid and Necromancer. And yeah, I was playing through the same Act 1 content for, what ended up being a 5th and 6th time for me. So it didn't quite have the same excitement to it, but Necromancer was a blast. Suffices to say, it is OP as fuck. I did Sorcerer. Sorcerer was a lot of fun. It was my first one that I did, able to handle tier 2 well enough. I won't say it was easy. And then after that, I did, I think, Barb. And that was pretty good. Wasn't great soloing tier 2, so I did Barb in tier 1 because it was, Whirlwind was just about fun spinning around. And then Rogue could do tier 2, not really much of a problem. Then I did Necromancer, and Necromancer made tier 2 feel like easy mode. Like you just walked through the game. It is supremely overpowered. It was a blast. It was a ton of fun to play. Went classic Necro style with as many skeletal minions as I could have, which ended up being 13. Well, no, 13 total minions, 12 of them skeletons, one of them my golem, and using Corpse Explosion. So that was pretty great.
So Corpse Explosion is back.
Yeah, it's nice. It's great for trash clearing. It's not as powerful. I mean, early game, it's, pretty powerful, but it doesn't feel quite as powerful long term. It was still useful for trash clearing, but it wasn't like one-shotting everything. You would have to hit a few corpses and get like a good chain of corpses going to really wipe out a group. So it, but it was, again, Necro was very easy. The fastest clearer of pretty much any content in the game, I would say. Now, all that said, after that, I went and did the Druid. Somebody at Blizzard hates Druids. And this person has been with the company apparently since Diablo
1999.
2, at least. Because Diablo 2 Druid, rough. I would consider it the worst class. personally. I'm sure some Diablo 2 players who love the druid are going to hate on me or, whatever. But that's my opinion. And that opinion continues in Diablo 4. The druid is hot dog shit. Clunky, slow, boring, neither good against large packs of trash or able to dish out high amounts of single target damage. Yeah, it was awful. It was really bad.
Just want to throw in here, does it matter at all that Blizzard already came out and said that the druid, I don't know what the fuck they're calling them, I just default to Lost Ark, their awakening skills don't kick in because you can't do that quest until a later act, so we had to play the open beta with...
So of the 5 classes, you could do the first quest, the intro quest for, or whatever, the awakening quest for Sorcerer. You could do that at level 15. That is very powerful. That Sorcerer thing was very, very powerful. Rogue, I don't remember when along your journey you do that, but you do have access to it, and it is again quite powerful. In addition, the dungeon that you do to complete that quest, the reward is an imprint for the flurry ability that makes it attack in a 360 circle around you, which immediately became the cornerstone of my rogue build and kicked ass. Barbarian, can't access it. Druid, can't access it. Necromancer, you can access it, but only at level 25. So it's a nice little beta capstone, but I would kind of put it between the two that get it and the two that don't in terms of usefulness. It's cool. You get your golem. It's fun. Hey, I've already got 12 skeletons. Now I also have a golem. That's cool. But yeah, for 2 of the classes it was pretty significant. For one of them, it was like whatever. But Barbarian, my point being, Barbarian was still fun. I did 2 different Barbarian builds, one regular, one hardcore. I had a lot of fun with both of them without having access to the Barbarian Awaken ability, whatever it's called. So, yeah, you didn't have access to the full totality of what the Druid is capable of, but when looking at an early game, analysis, early Druid is dog shit. I mean, in D2, early Barb was the worst because melee classes in D2 just get shat on, absolutely have a horrible time until you get late game gear and can up your attack rating.
Yeah, and you also don't have a lot of damage mitigation skills as a melee class in D3. Or I'll speak to D3. I'm not as familiar with it in D2. So yeah, you're getting pounded pretty hard early game. Giggity. But it is also it's weird to me that these classes have different level requirements for getting that to that chapter in their character, getting their whatever awakening skill, whatever it's actually called. 15 something, 15, and then like 25 and Act 2. That's weird because regardless of how kick-ass Druid, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, regardless of how kick-ass Druid gets, once you get that skill unlock, you have to deal with it for all of Act 1. Like, that, I don't understand the logic or the reasoning behind that unless they said, fuck mechanics, we're going hardcore lore, and nobody's going to care ultimately because Diablo's always been about endgame. So, yeah. I don't know the thinking.
I had a similar thought, like, why the fuck are they different? And I will say, I'm kind of okay with it if, there's like a compelling reason why. But at the same time, I'm not sure. I don't know. It just felt shitty. I'm not sure it was the right thing to do. I like that I guess I kind of like that it isn't spoon-fed in that way, so that each character will feel different on a playthrough if you're doing a playthrough, and if narratively it makes sense to be giving these items when they give them, or these abilities when they give them, story wise, I'm cool with that. Like if the reason you can't do the barbarian one because like you got to go to the region that has your barbarian tribe where you learn from a barbarian shaman or whatever, or the reason you got to go find your druid circle in whatever forest, and okay, I can accept that. But when it came to the beta, it made it feel a little less fulfilling. So I don't know, maybe for the beta they could have done something like all your awakened skills get unlocked at level 15. Whatever your class. Just
Sure.
they get unlocked. They could have done something like that, but they didn't.
Hey, Kirby's here. Hello, Kirby.
Hello,
Hey, you actually
Kirby.
noticed.
I did. Yeah, I'm a good boy this week. I had chat pulled up. So yeah, that's the other thing about the D4 open beta this weekend was some guy, or I don't even remember what service it was. Zero, you posted the article. Someone was claiming that users were complaining about the look of the Necromancer minions, and nobody in our channel thought that they looked out of place. They look great, actually. I like them.
Let me just do my voice for this. The top thing that I saw both on Twitter and in that article was, but my immersion, fuck you and your immersion. Get off of your mama's couch, go outside, touch grass, and fucking play the game as it's meant to be played. The fucking skeletons have always had some type of glow coming out of their chest.
Because they're enchanted.
Always. Exactly. So
they have magic about them. They're not living skeletons. They are skeletons that have been raised by the power of the black magic of necromancy. It's great. We were talking about Volkswagens earlier, and then I just pictured a Volkswagen that had half of it enveloped in a diaper, and the other half had a bow on it, and there was a sucker in the radiator.
It made me fuck off. People like that irritate the shit out of me. Those are the same people who play, and I'm gonna go on a rant here. Those are the same people who play fucking COD and who play World of War Tanks or War Thunder, and they get pissed off because an M1A2 Abrams, the tracks are moving the wrong direction. Fuck you, and fuck, it's a video game. It's a video game. Touch fucking grass.
It's not.
Jesus
Here's the thing, though.
Christ.
Look, if the treads on an Abrams were moving in the wrong direction, that'd be just like, yeah, why isn't the tank going backwards? That might be a little confusing. But you're also describing the type of people that get pissed off because a T-54 has the wrong screw right next to the commander's hatch. And they're just like, no, that doesn't exist there. That's not anywhere in the schematics. Do you fucking remember? It was 2 years ago now where World of War Tanks. Yeah, the guy who leaked schematics.
Yeah, British tanker.
Was it the Challenger tank?
Yeah,
I don't remember which one specifically, but yeah, he took a picture.
He talked about it.
Of his
he posted,
he
posted pictures of the manual that he had as a service member, and the British government got in contact with World of War Tanks. They were just like, please take those down. Those are not for civilians.
But I mean, and these are the same dude bros who in COD get pissed off because the action of the bolt on an
M1 carbine
rifle on an M1 carbine,
specifically the M1 carbine, the 1944 model.
Yeah,
See,
does not.
Dude bros. These are gun autists.
Look.
These aren't dude bros. These are gun tards. These are super nerds.
These are the same guys who identify with Moist Critical in his rant that he recently had on Twitch about somebody calling a magazine in a gun a clip. Look, it's
it
not
not?
that fucking vital. No, it is not called a clip. Technically, it's
Okay.
called a
No,
magazine.
you have
But
totally the wrong impression of that video. That video
oh
was
no, no,
amazing.
no, it was
That
amazing.
video
But
was great. Why?
it was great. Don't get me wrong, because I got the point of the video. But there are people out there who are, who are literally that guy when it comes to
Yes, I
guns.
mean, gun nuts are obnoxious or can be obnoxious, but using that video as an example, the context around that is amazing.
Is
Oh, it
this
is,
not?
but-
Is this not a case of like our whoosh or something? Like ironically enjoying something as opposed to literally enjoying something? Is that not the case? Because I have no idea what video you're talking about.
Okay, well, because here's quick context. There's a beef between Critical and some guy, I don't know who.
Nico.
Yeah, and they were, and like Critical was hammering him on stream, just talking ultimate shit about him, saying like, because this guy's fans were in his chat talking shit, and he was like, and so he was saying heinous shit about him, saying, clip what I just said and send it to him. Send in the clips. I'm watching him on his stream right now talking shit about me. You go into the comments and send him the clips. So then this guy releases a video with a handgun saying like, the only clips that matter are the clips in this. And as Zero was saying, yes, no, it's a magazine is what holds the bullets in a handgun. And Critical in his video, because like this guy's trying to like thug out and make this intimidating video with a pistol. He's like, oh, I'm going to shoot you. So Critical, so he sits down with, he's like, okay, no, first off, that's a magazine like what you have here. And then he whips out his fucking assault rifle that like, I don't have the list of specs in front of me, but when I saw the video, the comments went through it. Like, it's a very high level, well built, like top line equipment assault rifle, and he shows absolute impeccable trigger discipline, muzzle discipline, gun safety, etiquette, and all that shit in the way that he clears the chamber. Safety is just every step of the way, and just matter of factly breaks it down. No threat, nothing. He's just like, no, this is a magazine, right? And it's the funniest fucking shit in the world.
And what's funny is I went back and watched that 4 times, and I was like, oh my god, there's actually 5.56 in that fucking clip, or in that fucking magazine. There is 5.56 in there, and it's Full Metal Jacket. And I was like, I hate that I looked at that and saw it and knew exactly what the fuck it was. And I had to break myself for the longest time, because growing up, it didn't matter. My dad never corrected me. I always called it a clip. But, now you've got these people out here who in Southwest Virginia, Southwest Space Virginia.
So you emphasize the West there. You're doing this to yourself, Zero. You're like Southwest. No, you got to say Southwest
Space
Virginia.
No, you also right, whatever. The joke there obviously was going to be that you can't do the South. You need to say South, West Virginia.
But no, there are those type of people here. But no, that video was fucking epic, and it was great. I did love it. My point is the type of people who are complaining about my immersion in these fucking video games are just please go outside and touch grass. The outside is a wonderful thing. It is a great thing. There are people out there, and I know you sometimes, and hear me out, because I don't like people either, but sometimes you have to go out there, and it's okay. You can be scared, but you can go out there and it'll be okay.
Even if you don't like people, you can talk to people, and some of them you might find out are nice. That's how you get there's this theoretical concept called friends. That's how that works.
I mean, heck, if I would have never left my house and been that guy, I would have never met my wonderful wife. So
it's true. You wouldn't have that wonderful dog, and you wouldn't share all those wonderful feet pics in your wonderful Discord.
In my wonderful home.
And you wouldn't have all those stickers made out of you. And you wouldn't have gotten Twitter famous before you threw it all away hawking whatever, energy drink or something like that. Is that why Twitch got mad at you?
Yeah, because I shared multiple posts from the company that is that has sponsored me on my streams.
I haven't been inspired to make a really good video for a long time. I think I might make one on Zero's meteoric rise to internet fame, followed by his just collapse, his utter collapse.
And utter collapse and complete rebranding. Oh God, it's awful. But it's okay. It's okay.
It is.
It's all working out.
It's all working out. You know what's not working out? Google's Google and Bing's AI chatbots.
What?
Yeah, Microsoft's Bing said that Google's Bard had been shut down after it misread a story citing a tweet sourced from a joke. That's the whole chain of where it got that from. And Omega posted this article, and I want to go over it because I think it's fucking hilarious. And this article does actually get into the serious bit of it, which is, they call it a massive game of AI misinformation telephone, which it is. But just to recap the whole thing, it's basically what I said. If you asked last week, if you had asked Microsoft's Bing chatbot if Google's Bard chatbot had been shut down, it would have told you yes, and it would have cited a news article that had been discussing, not declaring anything, just discussing a tweet in which a user asked Bard when it would be shut down, as if it was a done deal, and Bard said that it already have. Maybe the AI was making a joke, who knows. But it cited a comment from another news service where someone had joked about Bard being shut down. And so Bard plucked that and responded, yes, I already have been shut down. It's right here. And somehow Bing picked up on this and just used that as the go-to answer. So that's the sort of convoluted chain that this whole thing went through, and it's fucking it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and it is kind of funny until it's not funny.
What people need to realize right now is that all these AI things is a bot that basically analyzes your question and then replies with the top Google answer in a conversational format. Except you don't get any of the other links and supporting links and information and context that you do get from a Google search. These AIs just search the internet, and what the internet says is true is what they use. So garbage in, garbage out in these cases. And, that's all it is. It's a Google search that decides which response. It's only going to give you one response, and it decides which one it's going to give you. And it doesn't give you anything else along with it. And so if you use it to ask generic questions about things that are generally agreed upon, you'll probably get a correct answer. If not, you get bullshit like this.
I'll say the only saving graces possibly of this are how quickly this was rectified by Microsoft, and the fact that just in the first place, the Bing chatbot provides references. It provides you with the source of what it's saying, so you can actually go look deeper into it. But I'm not trying to fool anybody here. We know the generation that is most typically using the internet these days, and they don't like to read or follow references that challenge their pre-established opinions. So yeah, this is again, it's funny, but it's not going to be funny for very long.
Yeah, because there is a very, very, very high likelihood that this shit could turn south quickly with worse information than that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's already happening. What's going to happen next is people are going to try and figure out ways to actually manipulate it, and yeah, that's happened to a degree in the past where you've seen AIs that were trained on a certain body of writing and ended up inheriting the biases of what it was, what it had learned from. So who knows what we're going to see where it ends up, but certainly right now it's just very much still in the garbage in, garbage out stage of the technology.
So you go over to Bing and you ask the Bing chatbot, who's responsible for the major banking collapse of the United States in the past 4 months? And it just comes back and it says Jews. Like, wow.
Well, that escalated very quickly.
Yeah,
I feel like I read an article a while back that it was like there was a Facebook AI or something that ended up getting taken down or like turned off because it started expressing right-wing ideologies from all the shit on Facebook.
Anti-Semitism specifically, I remember when that got taken off. Yeah, because obviously a lot of those quotes made it to /poll where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So, yeah, inherent bias is in there. And if this stuff is just searching for the internet, yeah, ostensibly it goes towards the most popular articles and it pulls from there because it figures the most popular, the most viewed must be the most accurate. Or maybe that's how it works. I don't know how it's actually programmed, but yeah, that is inherently dangerous. Just because I was mad when you said, yeah, it's already going that way. My mind first went to, yeah, the election rolls around. Does Biden actually have Alzheimer's? And then Bing bot or Google's Bard just comes back with all of these Chinese citations saying yes. So yeah, just various ways that you can abuse. And the same systems that we used to make websites popular 20 years ago are still as valid today. So you can create a web page today, and by next week you can have it as one of the top Google search results, depending on what your web page is about. So, again, it's funny until it's not funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, maybe asking a chatbot for answers to a serious question is not a smart thing to do. I'm just going to throw that out there. Hot take, I know.
Asking normal human beings for an honest answer is a terrible idea as well, but that's a completely different subject.
Yeah, how about asking educated people about things that they have been studying and are part of their field of employment? How about that? How about we start asking, smart people about things that they work with?
No, the experts all have an agenda.
Of course. Yeah. That's the oh god, yeah. Please, yeah.
Can't trust a single one of them.
Please blue pill me. I'm tired of all the red ones.
Is the blue one the one that we insert anally? Is that the one that...
No,
Might
you're
as well
looking
be.
for the green suppository.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
okay.
also there's
I always
also
get
the
them
green
mixed up. That's why the green ones taste funny.
It's the wrong hole. Alright, speaking of wrong hole.
Just like they say in the Navy, there is no wrong hole.
Yes, sir. So the Mighty
Thing?
Morphin Power Rangers. Shit. Sorry, Masami.
It's okay.
Yeah, I fucking stepped on it. I feel like an asshole. Anyway, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are coming back in a Netflix special. Or a Netflix series, I guess. TV series premiere to be April 19th of this year.
I'm not sure which is it. Is it a movie? Is it a TV series?
I thought it was a TV series. It says TV series 2023 TV Y7. It also says 55 minutes. I don't believe that you're going to get young children sitting down for an hour, even if it's Power Rangers.
I'll sit down for an hour, but Amy Jo Johnson is not in it, so I'm out.
Right. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about.
It's the original blue and black Ranger and the second generation red and Pink Ranger, the Yellow Ranger actress, and the White/Green Ranger actor both committed suicide. So they are not being included.
Actually, no, I'll just correct you there. The Yellow Ranger, played by Thuy Trang, actually tragically died in a car accident in 2021.
Oh, right. That's right. It was, yes, sorry.
She was a passenger in a vehicle, and she was returning from seeing, or she was returning from a party with bridesmaids because she was scheduled to be a bridesmaid in her friend's wedding. And on the way home, I guess there was the vehicle struck gravel on the side of the highway, and the driver lost control of the car, and what turned into probably what would have been a minor crash escalated really fucking quickly, because the car, after it had made impact and was on its way to a stop, went over the side of the highway, which was quite far up, and the car landed on another sheer rock face. So yeah, ironically, the driver survived. Everyone else was killed. So unfortunately, yeah, she couldn't come back to her role as the Yellow Ranger. As Zero already said, Amy Jo Johnson will not be returning as the Pink Ranger, which means I'm just not anywhere fucking near interested in this anymore.
Oh, also the actress who played Rita Repulsa passed away, and the solution to that is that the new Rita Repulsa seems to be the
she has a mask.
Reincarnated soul of Rita in a robotic body.
Yes.
Is what it appears to be.
In canon, Rita Repulsa was defeated and her body was destroyed. So she has now assumed a new form and has a robotic body and is back to wreak havoc on the Power Rangers. Before we go further, I just want to say also the original Red Ranger, Austin St. John, will also not be appearing in this film because, unfortunately, he was apparently indicted in a fraud scheme, something to do with the CARES Act in 2022, and he's accused of conspiring to steal over $3.5 million, I believe it is, over basically just defrauding business loans from the United States government, and he is currently on probation for that, awaiting trial. If he is convicted, he's facing 20 years.
Oh, one of the people who did COVID relief fraud? Is that what you're talking about?
No, this actually had to do with small businesses. He was registering small businesses but omitting key details, or lying about key details rather, such as the number of employees who were working at the businesses and the payroll of the business. He was doing that.
That's what the biggest COVID scam was. People who were claiming because the government was giving out basically payroll protection to companies, and that they could apply for money to make payroll. And so all kinds of people were either making up fake companies or were hugely lying about their payroll costs for their companies.
Who was this?
It could have been that.
Who is this? Or we're specifically talking right now about the Red Ranger. I'm not saying this is what he did. I'm saying this was a rampant problem, and
during
the DOJ has been fucking cracking down on it pretty hard as of late.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of articles about it here and there.
This is Austin St. John, and he is specifically been indicted on federal fraud charges related to the CARES Act for conspiring to steal $3.5 million in a scheme, which to create businesses which use existing businesses, or to create businesses or use existing businesses to submit applications fraudulently to obtain Paycheck Protection Program funding. So could have to do with COVID
fraud.
There you go.
Well, that's what the Paycheck Protection Plan was when companies were closing down left and right because they couldn't do business, so the government gave out payroll money without even asking questions, and that's why so many people took advantage of it, because it basically came out that the government was, we're gonna help people not go broke first and ask questions later, and people thought that meant they would never ask questions. Lo and behold,
they started asking questions.
They started asking questions.
Yeah. So anyway,
the government is okay. As much as I hate it, the government is not going to give you money and then not come back at some point and ask where that money went.
Unless you're rich.
Well,
sorry, just had to throw that in there.
Well,
just had to
I mean-
softball that in.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
the government's not going to ask, or the government's going to ask questions eventually.
Hi,
the
I
government
own a
might-
bank. I'd like $140 billion, please. Okay. Yeah,
Well, they needed that to secure our economy.
sure.
Without
Yeah,
it,
they did. They did.
everything would collapse.
It's true. Who's to argue?
So,
Certainly
hey, I
not
mean,
me. Huh?
that bank just did shut down, Silicon Valley Bank, and the government didn't do shit. So
Yep.
that's a good thing.
Anyway, so yeah, Red Ranger possibly facing 20 years in jail. Pink Ranger does not give a shit or is done with this whole thing. Yellow Ranger tragically dead at a very young age, and the Green Ranger also tragically dead at a relatively young age. So who do we have left? That's the Blue Ranger and the Black Ranger, and then the other cast members from, I don't know, the later seasons.
Both
Yeah,
of
it's
which are
second gen.
both
They're
of
the
which
second
were
gen guys.
super nice.
Yeah. Well, here's the weird thing.
I've met the Blue and the Black Ranger both. They both came to the local comic convention here, and
Oh, that's nice.
I was happy. I was there, and they were super nice.
What was the
So-
Blue Ranger's actor's name? I'm forgetting it.
David Yost.
Yes, I'm glad that he's able to come back to the franchise and, like, in some ways have some closure for what happened to him. So, yeah, times are very different now. For those of you who might not understand what I'm saying, he ended up having to quit the original Power Rangers because he was brutally bullied for being gay, and that fucking sucks. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's able to, like, that. I mean, I'm looking forward to it for nostalgia's sake, and I'm glad that he's able to be a part of it. That's really cool. I was like
Something-
a nerdy fat kid in school, and he was like, he wasn't fat, but he was like, I
He
would
was
say
nerdy.
the most, he was nerdy and the most squat and perhaps barrel shaped of the group. So like I identified with him. I liked him.
That's why his avatar was the Triceratops.
He's a chonky boy.
Stout, pointy,
Thick.
confident. Moves slow, doesn't give a shit. What are you gonna fuck with that bad boy? Check out the armor on him. Check out those fucking gigantic pointy things on his face. Yeah, stay the fuck away from that bitch. Anyway,
Black Ranger though. You
Black
have to say,
Ranger,
Black don't crack. Dude looks fucking amazing.
he looks almost the same as he did, 20 years ago. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
Walter
almost
Jones.
does.
Walter Jones is a fine-looking individual. I actually want to say Walter Jones and Miss Trang and who else? Actually, those might have been the only two. The Black Ranger and the Yellow Ranger originally left Power Rangers after 2 seasons because of a contract dispute, and I didn't realize this when I was a kid. I didn't realize it until very recently. The 5 actors who were on Power Rangers for season 1 and season 2, and the ones that were left for season 3 and season 4, along with their co-stars, were not getting union wages. They were literally getting about $60,000 a year for their work on the show, which after year 1, I should say after year 2, was estimated to be worth about $1 billion, not 2, just $1 billion. Just $1 billion, that's it.
Just 1 billion?
and
Only
they were-
1 billion.
And they were paying their main stars approximately $60,000 a year. So Black Ranger and Pink Ranger were both represented by the same talent agent, and the talent agent came forward to the studio and says, hey, we'd like union wages for all the stars. And the studio basically put the kibosh on that, and those 2 left. Walter Jones, I believe, came back for Power Rangers projects, but that was... They asked for fair pay, and they got the boot.
It's crazy that they wouldn't even pay him scale.
No,
That's not
yeah,
even
they
like
didn't pay him
actors
scale.
trying to negotiate, big contracts. They're just asking for like the base union wages.
Yeah,
That's kind of nuts.
I know the Pink Ranger also left later on. I think Amy Jo Johnson left season 4, I want to say. But I'm not clear on her decision to leave. Same with the Red Ranger. He eventually left, and then that was, I think David Yost was the longest to remain on the show before he eventually dropped out. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in Power Rangers that I did not realize when I was watching this as a child. I just liked the pretty color. I didn't even know that the fight scenes were from Super Saiyan in fucking Japan or whatever the hell the show was called. They were just direct ripoffs of, or they just copied and pasted. Like, what the hell was that?
There was a Japanese show, and they got the fight scenes in the costumes from the Japanese
Super
show.
Sentai. Thank you, Kirby.
Just entirely made up a story with these American actors and cut it together in the edit room. They made a plot with American actors around these fight scenes from a Japanese TV show. It's hilarious. It's amazing.
Which is also why, if you go back and you look at that, the Yellow Ranger does not look like a woman, looks a lot like a dude. It's because in Japan, the Yellow Ranger was a dude. Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. I was going to say, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was like Tagachi's Castle was the one and that turned into MXC.
Yeah, that's MXC. It's Takeshi's Castle.
Takeshi's Castle. Yeah, fucking MXC was fucking great.
I downloaded that in college, didn't I?
Yeah, you introduced me to it in college. I don't think I watched all 4 glorious seasons of MXC until later.
I think that's one of the things that I tried to torrent all of it I could. That and Iron Chef, the original Japanese Iron Chef.
Yeah.
Iron Chef America was garbage. Iron Chef America sucked.
Oh, so many memes. But yeah, so Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Once and Always, coming out on Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Netflix.
I'm excited. I got to admit, some of the superhero stuff is ran thin, but as a general rule, I am excited for the generation of millennial nostalgia that we're gonna get, because for the last 40 years we've been stuck in boomer nostalgia. I actually saw an interesting chart. If you look at the most popular Christmas tunes, basically what we consider Christmas music is almost exclusively boomer nostalgia. Like all the classic Christmas tunes are boomer era songs. So eventually we're gonna finally kill them all off, and we're gonna get to have our nostalgia. And this is some of it. I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be schlocky. I'm not expecting it to be good. I'm expecting it to be fun, and that's all I want.
It had better have several gaping plot holes.
What's the robot's name?
Alpha 5.
Alpha 5, yeah. I definitely want. With him wobbling around, holding his head. Is Zordon gonna be back?
No, that was Tom. Well, the original Zordon was the guy who played Tommy, the Green Ranger, later on. So no, I don't think that they got him back. At least I don't see a name here that I recognize for Zordon. But I did want to say, all right, before we go too far, we mentioned Rita Repulsa. Barbara Goodson is the actress who played Rita Repulsa. She was I'm not clear if she was the original, but I'm fairly certain that she was in a whole shit ton of episodes of the original, and she is back. She is actually the actress who is playing Rita Repulsa in this show.
Good.
And Richard Stephen Horvitz is the gentleman who plays Alpha 5. He played Alpha 5 throughout the entirety of Power Rangers, the original, and he is back as Alpha.
Yes. That's what I wanted to hear. Much better than the fucking Mario movie not having the guy who's voiced Mario for the last the entirety of our lives play the character.
Yeah, that guy wanted to work for scale. They're just like, no. Here's a voice actor who will do it for $15,000. So, anyway. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be god-awful. Masami, did you ever watch Power Rangers as a kid? Did you ever have, or ever watch any of it? Jesus Christ, there are a lot of subsequent follow-ups. Power Rangers the movie, Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers Karate Club. Any of
The
that?
first movie was fun.
I was in 5th grade, and that was that was the last year of elementary school for my school, and it was somewhat uncool to watch Power Rangers at that age, so it was a guilty pleasure that I watched and never told a fucking soul about, but enjoyed. And I'm talking the first series that they brought to the U.S., where they hacked in the Japanese fight scenes and then had the American actors and all the rest of it. Um, and I was there for the Green Ranger arc, and when he went to the White Ranger and all that shit. I had my dad take me to the first movie. I
Yeah.
I so much did not want to, let any of my friends knew that I was so uncool as to be still watching Power Rangers at the, bold age of 10 or whatever.
Yeah, I was hardcore into it up through the movie as well. It was when it switched to the new franchise, I think. The first spin-off was Turbo, right?
Yep.
I believe
Yeah.
so. I stopped watching once it went to that.
I did not. Me too. Exactly. So we were the same way. Yeah, dude, the original Power Rangers movie is excellent.
That thing was lit.
It's an excellent movie.
So good. Did you know they actually
introduced me to Red Hot Chili Peppers too at a young age?
That's fair. They actually just recently, I think it got released about 3 or 4 months ago. They released a Power Rangers RPG, like tabletop RPG. It's apparently pretty good system-wise.
Huh.
So if you ever wanted to play your own Sentai game, there you go.
Go Power Rangers!
Oh, the nostalgia kicks.
It is
You know what? I can't wait.
Ingrained.
I cannot. I want.
Kirby just breaks into Red Hot Chili Peppers. Nice, Kirby.
Nice. Good job. I am still waiting on the re-release of the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show because I'm just that guy. That was my favorite cartoon growing up.
It's fine. We can let it die.
No, sir. Absolutely.
Wait, is
not.
this something that's been announced, or are you just talking some hope that you have?
I have hope. I'm holding out hope that holding out hope that Jason Reitman does right by the community and re-releases the Real Ghostbusters and has new episodes coming out. Not any of that extreme Ghostbusters bullshit that they came out with in the early 90s, because it was cool to add the word extreme in front of a name of a franchise, and that made it cool and hip.
I mean, like you said, though, that was the 90s.
I mean, I'm still waiting on Jinko jeans to come back, because I'm gonna buy me a pair, because those things were fucking great.
Were they?
They were.
They really weren't.
They were. Shut up. Yes, they were.
They were not.
I can fit an entire laptop in my back pocket. Shut up.
Where's that picture of Zero when he was 15?
Oh God,
somewhere.
do we? Oh yeah, with the blonde hair. Oh God, I can't.
You still don't look as bad as I did with my my cargo shorts and my giant ball necklace.
Oh God,
giant metal ball chain. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway. So that's the Power Rangers movie. Go Power Rangers.
I'm excited for it. I'm gonna be a big nerd about it.
I hope it's glorious schlock.
Mm-hmm.
But it is TVY7, so just get in there. Even though Amy Jo Johnson isn't in it, that's a huge downer for me. Come on, Amy Jo, what do you got? I mean, you got a life, I understand that, but come on, Power Rangers, just for fun. You get to hang out with the Blue Ranger and the Black Ranger again. Come on. Anyway. So, Omega and I, months ago now, was it January or was it actually last year, where, I got a YouTube recommendation because I don't know what I was looking for. I was looking for some video to support. I was looking for porn. I'm looking for porn on YouTube because I'm stupid. And I got a YouTube recommendation for a live stream that was being held by Elon Musk. And he was supposedly talking about SpaceX and it was after he said that it was after he posted the poll where he's just like, should I step down as CEO of Twitter? And the title was clickbait, which is just like, yeah, SpaceX exploring rocket and the future of Twitter without Elon as CEO. And it was Elon Musk talking about this on a live stream with 3 other people, and one of them was the former founder of Twitter. And I looked at that, I was like, there's no fucking way this could possibly be real. And I was watching it, and like, yeah, they looked like they were talking about it and everything. But as I shared that, and I posted it in Chonkwij, and I shared it with Omega, and I was like, is this fucking real? Like, he's talking about this right now? And Omega took a look at it too. And there was a little thing, there was a little note above the super chat that said, donate Bitcoin to blah, 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 and see a return on your investment. And that right there is a huge fucking tip-off that this is not real. This is some sort of scam. Nobody gives you free money. That's not how anything ever works. Ever. That was months ago. And Omega posted an article which sort of elaborates on that now months later, which is Linus Tech Tips, which is a large network of YouTube channels, was ostensibly hacked. He said, Linus actually came out and made a statement that said his network was hacked and it was being used for crypto scams because this person got access to the network of YouTube channels, changed all the channels' names to Tesla, uploaded a new icon, and then started posting this AI-generated talk that Elon was having with all these other people with the same crypto scam up right above the super chat.
I've seen the same thing happen to other people as well. Vitalik Buterin, the man who invented Ethereum, his accounts got hacked, and it was playing a video of him talking about Ethereum 2.0, and it was presenting it as a live stream, and that made it doubly more convincing to people to send ether to him, because it was saying like, yeah, I'm gonna, you send it to me, I'll send you double what you send me just to, propagate it or whatever, obvious bullshit. But stupid people are stupid and are going to fall for that kind of shit, unfortunately. So yeah, this is a known scam.
Yeah.
This is now the 3rd time I've seen
it. What distinguishes the Linus Tech Tip hack from the others, I believe, is just the extent of the attack on Linus Tech Tips, because I didn't realize that that's just like, that is his channel, but he has a vast network of about 24 other YouTube channels blanketed. He's blanketing those channels, and this is called spear phishing, and the attacker basically got access to every single channel and just sort of went down the line trying to do this, getting as much attention as possible and scamming as many people as possible out of their hard-earned money. So this was a big one.
Yeah, this is by far the most successful one, and I'm not a huge fan of Linus, so there's like a little bit of schadenfreude in there for me. But it sucks to see that kind of shit happen to anybody, more in the fact that it sucks that people might have gotten duped into giving up their money. But in the live stream on his channels, his community was nice enough to actually be making super chats to the channel that were highlighted saying that it was a scam and don't do it, blah 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 blah. So
right, yeah. So the important thing to distinguish here is that the scam notice above the super chat was directing people to another address where they could donate, whatever, give away their money directly to another Bitcoin wallet. Super chats work differently. So you can donate $2 to Super Chat and put up a big message that says, "This is a scam, don't donate," and then you can request to YouTube to have your $2 refunded. The person running the channel is not in control of that. So yeah, shout out to LTT's community, because they did exactly as Omega said.
I can bet you next time someone tries this scam, and it will happen again, they're just going to turn off Super Chat.
Yeah.
Or just disable chat entirely. Honestly, that's kind of a rookie mistake, not disabling chat.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they wanted to keep chat on because they thought it looked more legitimate, or maybe it really was just they didn't think about it. But I also have to wonder how much, just in terms of an attack like this, especially of this scale, I have to wonder how many people were actually paying attention to those chats, and how many people actually were even in front of the computer while this was happening. Because this seems largely, well, I shouldn't say largely automated. It seems like something that would be very easy to automate in mass. That would be more effective, more efficient in terms of an attack. But the point is, nobody gives you free money. Don't ever fall for this shit.
No, people love the fantasy of the altruistic rich person who wants to help them. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, right. So yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the good shit. Oh, also, we talked a couple weeks ago about Justin Rollins going up against charges for felony domestic violence in Orange County, California. Those charges were dropped by the prosecution. So, yeah. He pled not guilty. He is not guilty. All charges dropped, citing a lack of evidence.
Yeah, and I mean, the person who quote filed the charges, from what I understand, now this article may disprove me from what I heard. Now again, I take all of my sources that I get from Twitter with a huge grain of salt. That
I do my research
actually
on Facebook.
More like I take them with a salt lick. But that the person who accused him came out and recanted and said, "Hey, no, that didn't happen." But again, I could be wrong.
But like, did you see the text messages? Like, regardless of what's going on in this situation with him, like, the guy's a creep.
Yeah.
I didn't see any text messages.
In this case, he's talked a lot in some gross contexts about liking young girls, like teenage, like 18-year-old, like, waiting for girls to turn 8, like stuff like he's done and said some gross shit. And
is this related to the case?
Well, no. That's. Wait, are you talking about this domestic violence thing specifically?
Yes.
I don't believe so. That was between him and his.
He claims that it was an ex-partner or an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But that's all this. She's not named anywhere that I could find, anywhere credible that I could find. I saw no name attached to any of this, and I also didn't see anything definitive on why the district attorney's office dropped all the charges. But asking for long story, I know some lawyers, not like friend-wise, but I went to college with them, and one of them was my professor. So he just haphazardly was in a conversation with one of these a while ago, and they said, well, if they drop, this was before the charges were even dropped, to say, if, charges are dropped, there's really only two reasons why that would happen, is that, first of all, the witness decides to, or yes, the witness decides to give testimony in favor of the defense, in which case everything just sort of drops because your witness is no longer cooperative, your case kind of falls apart. Or the prosecutor's office determines that there's something wrong with the evidence, and they go back through discovery, or they initiate a second round or whatever, and they just can't get enough evidence, and so they have to drop the case. But if there's been falsified information or something like that, then the state opens up a new case against that person. And again, I have no way of knowing what exactly happened here, because all credible sources that aren't full of rumors only give very terse statements, and the defendant in this case, the prosecuting witness in this case, is not named. So I can't tell if there is, even if I knew her name, I might be able to go and query public records in the state of California to see if there's anything on any docket against this person, but I lack all this information. I have no information here.
When I read it earlier, I believe the DA is dropping the charges due to lack of evidence.
Yeah, that's what this article says, is a lack of evidence.
Yeah,
but
so that's
yeah, so it's probably one of the first two that I said, but again, if the guy's a creep, yeah, sure, whatever. He made weird text messages. Okay, that's fine, whatever, weirdo. But the point is, if that didn't have anything to do with this case, then this was all, yeah, he got dropped from Adult Swim, and he resigned from his video game company for basically nothing, which sucks. Anyway.
I mean, I don't know that it was like Omega said.
Here's what happened. Screenshots were leaked after his felony charges in Orange County. The leaked charges were first shared on January 15th before the account that shared them went private. They were then shared again. The leaked message, the caption was on September 2015. Justin Roiland followed me on Twitter. I was 16. Of course, I was excited because I loved Rick and Morty at the time. So I messaged him first. We started talking now and then. Some of it very casual, but some parts were 100% weird. And then she shares a bunch of texts. And he, throughout the text, uses slurs, asking the kid to go to something about sex slavery, calling her a stupid, I don't know, they're censored, F blank blank. I guess F word bitch, derogatory slang for gay, and ending with just kidding.
Because when you end it with JK, it's fine.
He asked her if she would start cam whoring when she turned 18. He called her jailbait, stating "You should grow older, you dumb bitch." Others have then come forward, sharing alleged chats with him. One of them asked her to get a Morty tattoo on her breasts. Others have included him of sexually exploiting people, including minors. So it's not directly related to his case, but all of this came out in the wake of his case. So the fact that his case was dismissed, the domestic violence case was dismissed, hasn't changed what is essentially an entirely separate Me Too situation.
Right. So yeah, all right, the weirdo.
And there's a video that I saw of him on a podcast. Yeah, like I said, talking about. Let me just find it for you.
Yeah.
Talking about my.
I have to assume. Well, actually, you might not be able to tell me this. Were the tweets censored before or after they were leaked? I'm assuming after. By whatever news agency. The tweets.
Oh no, yeah, no. Sorry, I was censoring. When I was reading that, I was reading quotes from the article that were quoting.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And they were self-censoring.
Because you would think after this kind of attention in the DEA's office, you'd think if they could make a case for like soliciting sex from a minor, that's a big deal.
I mean, but that's an entirely different case.
Yeah, right. It would be
different investigation.
It would be, yeah, definitely. But the only thing I meant to say was that, yeah, he's been under the radar, he's been under the microscope now. So if somebody in the DSA's office came across stuff like this and they thought that it could make it stick, or they thought that there was a case there, yeah, that could be the next thing that he faces.
Yeah, so we'll see. But honestly, I don't care.
Regardless, Rick and Morty is going on season 7. The new voice actors have already been cast. The show's continuing on, and Dan Harmon's going to be the solo lead until season 10, when I guess they go into contract renegotiation. So yeah, Rick and Morty is without him. He's off that project, and he's off his game studio, and he's got nothing right now. But he says he wants to move on. So yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna present this case here as vindication and pretend like he's gonna close this chapter of his life and move on to pursue his new creative, blah blah whatever bullshit he's gonna peddle, and he's gonna hope eventually over time people forget.
And they will.
We'll see if he, end of the day, the question is he good enough for people to forget? Louis, people are starting to forget.
Yeah, that's true, Louis C.K.
Chris D'Elia, people have not forgotten.
Harvey Weinstein was in the news again a couple weeks ago. He's going for his 3rd round of criminal proceedings.
Oh, what was he going up for this time? Is this just another case somewhere
assault.
else?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It's another sexual assault case.
I wasn't sure
if
it was like an appeal or something, or.
No, I think he's still just other cases, and I think he's racked up something like 17 years so far, and it should be a lot more than that.
Just stack it all on there.
Yeah, and they're all consecutive sentences.
Yes, I would hope so. Actually, I wonder, what's the... Are they in different jurisdictions? Or is this all out of California?
2 of them are in California. I thought one of them might have been overseas. I thought one of them actually might have been in London? Because not mince words here, he sexually assaulted women all over the world. Yeah. Mainly in the United States and Europe. But
I'm sure a vast majority of it was in, Hollywood, California. But, the man certainly traveled the world. And I'm glad he will be spending the rest of his life in bars. Now, I just wish he would give Kevin Smith the rights to Doc.
Yes, we need that movie. I am in 100% agreement. We need that fucking movie. It is vaulted. I have a DVD copy of it, and I am holding on to that with for dear life. I have the special edition steel case of that, and I am holding on to it for dear life.
Physical copies of this thing go for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, they do.
You can also just pirate it for free.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna say, isn't it out on Blu-ray?
You literally cannot watch it legally. It is not. It's like a book that's out of print. The only thing that exists are existing physical copies that were sold during previous production runs, or things that people themselves have copied and or recorded off of TV and shit. Like it is entirely vaulted. There's not a single streaming service that has it. There's not a place you can go to buy it unless you're buying like an old stock copy for hundreds of dollars.
It's the Christian conspiracy. The church doesn't want it getting out.
Honestly, it's just fucking Harvey Weinstein wanting to squeeze every drop of money he can.
Yeah.
Mainly because he knows he's finished.
Yup.
Whatever assets he has left are basically paying for whatever life he's hoping to have from here through the ending.
Oh shit! Dogman, good movie though.
Yeah, why couldn't it have happened to some shittier movie?
Yeah,
Why
what
does
about
that
Jay
have to
and
be
Silent
the
Bob
movie?
Strike Back? What gonna
Easy.
happen to that?
Easy. You know,
Look, I know you
movie
love
was
Kevin
bad.
Smith. I know you love Kevin Smith and all the rest of that, but I was watching CNN, or there was a special on CNN that was like the history of comedy last week. It was this multi-part series about just the history of comedy, and then all the big names on it. And I was watching it, and all of a sudden Kevin Smith was on, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, all right, you had a couple movies.
His comedy specials are not that good. I mean, I've seen a couple of them. I think my favorite one out of all of his is the one Too Fat to Fly, and that was simply because the bit that he does about not being allowed on an airplane without being able to buy us or without having to buy a second seat was fucking hilarious, and I felt that to my core.
Because you have to buy a second seat.
Is that actually a thing? Have you had to
Oh
buy a
no,
second seat?
there are no. I've never had to buy a second seat, but
See, there you
I am
go.
a big guy.
You're not a Volkswagen.
No, I'm a smart car.
Oh fuck, I forgot.
There are some airlines that the seating is so damn small that literally bigger people do have to buy a second seat if you want to be comfortable, like, you know, Spirit, but we won't go there.
Spirit Airlines.
Oh yeah, Spirit Airlines, their planes are awful from what I understand. I've never flown it.
I don't think it's even available. I say that. I'm not sure it's even available in my area.
The closest we have here in Virginia is Allegiant. And they fly out of Roanoke down to Orlando, and that's the only stop they make. It's Roanoke to Orlando, Orlando back to Roanoke. So,
does anyone else remember the Divergent movies? What was it? Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant? What was the three movies?
yeah.
I don't know why I just thought of that. Shailene Woodley falling in love with her much older instructor, that inappropriate relationship that lacked boundaries. And then the whole thing just sort of fizzled out. I don't even know if I saw the last movie.
Speaking of movies, Nick Cage as Dracula.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm gonna see it just because it's Nicolas Cage, but it looks just awful.
Is that part of the Dooku?
The what?
The Dooku, the DC Dark Cinematic Universe?
No.
Whatever they were gonna get, they were gonna have a whole thing going up. The DC or Sony's DC Dark Cinematic Universe, that was gonna be a whole thing. The Mummy with Tom Cruise was gonna launch it. It's gonna be so popular. Russell Crowe was gonna be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and they were gonna bring back Dracula, and they were gonna have the Mummy and Frankenstein and the Invisible Man. Johnny Depp was gonna be the Invisible Man. Whatever happened? Why didn't I wonder why they didn't do that? Why didn't they do that? Where'd that all go?
Who knows? I'm excited for this Thursday. I already have my tickets for the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, I forgot that's coming out, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. And it's got a 90, what is it? A 90 critic score and an audience score of 94, which gives me a little bit of hope, but at the same time, it's like I'm still going into this with very, very low expectations.
Wait, has it released?
It comes out this Thursday.
How are people reviewing it?
I'm assuming that it's verified ratings.
Because they were invited to pre-screenings? Okay, yeah, big fucking red flag right there. Because if they say bad things, they don't get invited to future pre-screenings. So,
yeah,
take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, I have no reason to believe that it's going to be a bad movie. It's got Chris Pine in it. Chris Pine's always great. Well, he's such a nice young man.
I looked at my wife and I said, I'm going to take 4 hours off early on Thursday so that I can go down and make sure I get my D20 popcorn bucket. Because
I had to
that
take
is a
4 hours off early on that day so I can come home, spend 3.5 hours on the shitter, clear everything out, and then we're going to the theater. Sorry, that's me. That's my inner me talking.
Well, the good thing is I don't have to come home from an office. I work from home, so
you can spend all day on the shitter.
Yep, facts. Make sure everything's thoroughly. Make sure all the plumbing is completely clear.
Completely unrelated, I saw a cursed image today of a guy in the emergency room. He had been sitting on one of those, you know, the fold-out lawn chairs that have like woven plastic strips for the seat.
No.
Yeah, it was one of those, and his testicles was caught in one of the seams for one of the slots in between the woven plastic. Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad.
That hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, had to go to the fucking ER for that. My question is, how did your balls get through there in the first place?
That is a very good question, and something tells me that the last thing that was said before the ambulance was called was, "Hey, hold my beer."
It had to be a sex thing, right?
I mean, maybe. Or it was just a bunch of rednecks that were standing around daring each other to do stupid shit, and that's how it happened. Which is...
I bet I can stick my balls through the chair, and then I can walk with the chair attached to me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's something I would do.
That is exactly how that would go.
That's how I would wind up in the ER. The other thing I saw was a post from one of the nurses from, not a hospital around me, but it was a nurse post. It was like, just for patients' awareness, nobody ever slips on something that then goes into their rectum.
No.
It had to have happened once.
Yeah, well, no, law of probability. Yeah,
it had to have happened once.
Statistically speaking, the number of people who have slipped around objects that were of the size that could fit into an anus. I suppose, yeah. I mean, never say never in nature. There's always the odd man out. There's always the exception. But come on, 3 times in as many months? Oh, well. That's good. A little bit of butt humor, or a little bit of anal play for us to go out on. Masami, any words of wisdom before we wrap up here? Something to do with the buttocks?
Make sure that you're either plugged or unplugged and you know which one you want to be.
Wise words from Punlord Misquitme. And that'll do it for us. We'll see here. Thanks for stopping by, Kirby. Bye-bye. GG's will be we'll be back here same time, same place next week. Penis. Fuck Poon, fuck Poo.
Fuck 'em.
Remain unplugged.